Nikon is about to release their new Z8 camera. I think this camera is going to be a game changer for Nikon, and it's going to take the camera industry by storm. Why do I say this? Well, stick around and we'll discuss it.
Why they always feel them a run things? When I hold the crown, there is one king. Me not care when you say what you done for me. When me never take a loss, why you come for me? Oh, I don't get it, I won't stress it. Life's a lesson.
Why do I think the Z8 is going to be a game changer for Nikon? If we look at the rumored information regarding the specs and the size of the camera, we can see how this camera can fit in when it comes to the competition. People have said the competition for this camera is the Sony a7R5 and the Canon R5. I kind of think it'll probably be somewhere in between and probably push closer to the Canon R5C. So let's talk about what we know. The Z9 does all of its recording internally. It can record externally. However, Nikon has seen fit to use a new compression technology, which is from TicoRAW, which allows them to compress the raw files and record it internally to the camera. Now imagine this. You've taken all this raw recording technology and you've now stuck it into a smaller body. Based upon rumors, it seems as though this camera would be somewhere around the Z6, Z7 size, but I've always had my doubts about that, because when you're talking about a smaller body, whenever you record in 4K, camera can heat up. The Z6 that I had would heat up if I record for 4K for a long period of time. Seeing that it didn't have a fan, there have been a few occasions where the camera shut down on me. Now, the Z9 can record up to 2 hours of 8K 30 video. That's UHD video, not RAW. They haven't given the specifications as far as how long it can record RAW, but it can record up to 12-bit RAW internally. Most of us are dying for 10-bit camera. The Z8 is going to be able to record 12-bit. Well, I suspect it will if it's going to be very similar to Z9. I could be wrong, and all we'll probably get is 10-bit ProRes, not 12-bit NRAW. But I think if Nikon is smart, they're going to keep the NRAW inside this camera and make it a really good video monster. Part of me says we'll probably have 2 cameras, but again, we don't really know. My reasoning behind that is because there have been 2 pictures posted on Nikon Rumors which look vastly different. When Peter posted information, he said this is basically what he got last year sometime that lines up very well. And then a second leaked photo came out that looks very different. We've also heard that there may be another camera released alongside the Z8, but we don't know what that is just yet. So we'll put the video, the 2 camera talk to bed for now and just kind of focus on the Z8 and what it is by itself. Some of the things that the Nikon Z9 has that could be replicated in the camera is the video recording features and photo recording features. People have said, well, because of the battery that's inside the Z9, maybe it won't go for a long period of time. Doesn't really matter. If you're doing 8.3K RAW internally, the camera is designed to have PD, power delivery. So you plug a USB power bank inside this thing, or you use a V-mount battery, you're able to power the camera for a long period of time. So as long as the camera can manage the heat, it can record for a long while. My FX30 has a small fan built on it, records up to 4K 60, well 4K 120, but nobody's going to record 4K 120 for hours. At 4K 30, they said it's unlimited recording. So, well, 4K 24 as well, because the fan will keep things cool. So if this camera has no fan and the raw recording rate is small, then it may not overheat. But that still kind of keeps it away from what a true video camera is like, because most people who want something that's cinema rated, we're looking for something that's going to have some kind of audio built in. Now, one of the reasons why I got the FX30 is because it did come with audio handle, and I did buy that option. I don't make films currently, but as I learn more about video, I can see the capabilities that this camera can give to me and you can run around with an audio handle with external mics on it, XLR adapted mic. So you can get good sound in a small body. The Z8 is going to be bigger. From the dimensions that we're seeing, it's similar in size to the outgoing D850. There are a lot of D850 users who say, hey, I want this camera and it would be good, but I'll only get it if it has all the photo features. And for you guys, I say, I think you'll love this camera, because if you love the Z9 and what the Z9 can do, and it's going to be using the same sensor and the same processor, the likelihood is you'll be able to do video in this thing with no problem at all. For those you do birding, if you got this 45 megapixel sensor, you can basically downsize it in the DX mode and give you some more reach. It may be on the pricier side compared to what the Z7 is, but I think for what Nikon is doing, compared to the price of the Z9, they'll probably undercut everybody else when it comes to that level as well. Hey there, enjoying the content? Love what you've seen so far? Find the information useful? Okay, wonderful. Now, next question. Are you subscribed? No? Oh, go on, get subscribed. A lot of you watching are subscribed, but most of you are not. So while the channel is growing, I'd like to count on your support to help me to grow even more. So if you're coming back and watching the video, or if this is your first time, hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel out. All right, not gonna take up any more of your time. Let's get back to the video. To my photography brethren, let's talk. Come over here. Mirrorless is video. Mirrorless system pretty much came from a video camera. If you remember the old days when you had video cameras, you know that you could pull out an image from a video and use it as a photo, right? The technology has evolved to a state where they can put it into cameras that we use for photography. So when you're saying get rid of the video stuff, it's always going to be there. The mirrorless technology allowed the camera makers to get rid of the mirror box. Light straight through the lens to the sensor, system off the sensor, brings it up to the EVF. That's what we have. It's not going to be cheaper if they take it out of there. It's pretty much the same thing. You can use software and disable some things and enable some things, but you're dealing with video. So I'd say this, get the camera that you want with the photos features. The video is there. If at some point in the future you graduate to video, fantastic. If not, you still have the photo side. I know people with the Z9 who have never used the video on it. So having it in the Z8, you can pretty much expect that every hybrid camera that comes out is going to have a video inside of it. That's just the way things are. As far as pricing, that's a whole other story. We don't really know what that's going to be yet. So let's not get bent out of shape about, what we think it could be. Let's wait for Nikon to give us those numbers. So you don't care about RAW. You just want to record standard video. RAW takes up too much space. It's too big. The files are hefty. Okay, I got you. So what does the Z8 have for you? You can record, again, all the way up to 8K. UHD, 10-bit. The great thing about what the Z9 does, it also allows you to record an 8K oversampled footage as 4K. It allows you to get a 4K image from an 8K oversample recorded. We've heard about people doing 7K into 4K, 6K into 4K. The Z9 takes it to the next level. 8K image into 4K. There are times we record 8K footage and we put them into a 4K timeline, still have a great image. But now you're getting an oversampled 4K image from 8K recorded. Right in the camera. You don't have to do anything, you just select it, boom, it's there. We know that the Nikon system gives out really good colors. I've heard people say Nikon colors aren't good. I'm like, what are you talking about? Now, you can tweak anything. And people will worry about that and talk about that. It's like, If you're a person who is a content creator and you do any kind of color grading, you can grade any camera to match anything that you're looking at. It may take time to figure it out, but there are lots out there that you throw onto your image and you can tweak and get the look that you want. You've heard me talk about information I found in the patents filing and that there's going to be a new stabilizer and autofocus system. I could be wrong. Let me say that up front, because we know the way patents work. Sometimes things are patented, but they don't come out until later on. It kind of strikes me as odd that these things are kind of coming out right before the launch. Boom, boom, boom. Here they are showing up. So, if we get a better autofocus system on par with Sony and Canon and Panasonic, many of us will love that. Whether it's on the video side, the photo side, that'll be fantastic. Stabilization. Look at what Panasonic is doing. That thing is so awesome. You can walk around with a thing and you don't even, get the bounce from your footfalls. The new Sony Z8, they've taken what is active stabilization from the R5 and they've basically bumped it up to the next level. I forgot the terminology that I used for it, but basically it looks like the Panasonic videos that we've seen on its stabilization. Nikon hasn't been sitting around for the last 3 years doing nothing. They've been testing new technologies, creating new technologies, and putting them out. The people who are out there playing with these cameras, that NDA is like solid. You don't get much leaks about this stuff. So I think Nikon is going to be showing us a lot of things that we didn't expect and some things that we've wanted for them to do. What do you guys think? Are you ready for this camera? A lot of us been waiting for something great from Nikon, even though we kind of expected a lower price camera. But I think by stepping now from the Z9 and going one level down, they'll put in a lot of the content creators who are buying cameras at that price, $12,000, $25,000, $35,000, or whatever these 8K cameras cost. If it can manage the raw files, give them the same quality, they'll be happy. When it comes to audio, that's the one thing I'm a little bit, worried about. Will they make some kind of external audio handle for this thing and have it on offer at the same time? We don't know, but it would be nice. Tascam makes an external XLR adapter for Nikon cameras already, so that could be something you could buy as an additional thing, but that still means kind of being on a tripod. If you're on a gimbal, most people doing production work usually have your audio separate from your video. So there is that. Your standard user, doing a YouTube video like this, you can run a mic, wireless, and have connection that way. Or you can put something on the top of the camera, depending on how close you are to it, if you record that way. So this camera could be for a lot of different people in a lot of different use cases. But I think this camera is going to surprise us in ways that we just haven't thought about at this moment. So let me know what you guys think. What is it you want from the camera? What is it you expect? And what do you think is going to be the surprise features coming?
Life's a lesson. Oh, they not get the picture. They want me to change all the message. I ain't been in a better place.